We as believers, we ought to be merciful. That's true. But we shouldn't be stupid. There's a difference between being merciful, as the Heavenly Father expects us to be, and being stupid. Let me explain. If you have a woman who's mentally ill and she's being taken advantage of by men sexually and she ends up having children out of wedlock, look at the context. She's not in her right mind. She does carry responsibility for her actions as far as she's able to think, because remember, she's mentally ill. There are some parts that she can't be responsible for because there are certain things about her that don't work well. In this case, someone neglected her, namely the community. So where did the community fail her? Why did the community allow all those men to have their way with her unpunished? Those men are talking about her, that they had their way with her. They have friends, they have family, so the community allowed it to happen. So if this woman ends up on government aid for those children, hey, that's justice. The community should not neglect its own. In this case, those children should get some aid from the community that neglected them, because those children have no option. They had no option in where they would be born and what they had to face. Meanwhile, while the woman is on government aid, the community should take responsibility and deal with those that exploited that woman. All those fathers who spread their seeds but never looked after their offspring, they should be charged, to have to pay fines, and if they don't change their minds about their offspring, they should go to jail. That's how it should be. If that happens all the time, and if all people that enabled it are also exposed publicly, with no regard to anything like privacy or whatever, you'll see that very soon the single motherhoods in the community would stop. Why? Because people are held to an account. And if people see a woman being very sexually loose, they will remind her, hold on, we don't want this. What I mean is, in this case, you're merciful towards the woman. She may have played a part in how she ended up. Some obviously do, because some were just out of their mind. You are merciful towards her, also on behalf of the children, because you can never blame the children for the situation of their parents, absolutely not. But you're not going to be stupid by allowing it to remain this way. You help the woman out, but she will deal with the community. Another example. Let's say you have a situation in which people turned on you, they attacked you as a group, and now things are backfiring. Are you going to remind them all the time what they've done unto you and escalate the situation and making things worse? No. You are merciful in the sense that you de-escalate so that there is calm to the community. You de-escalate so there's no danger around you. You will not contribute to danger. That's what you do. And you do consider them, even though they are enemies of you, even though they are negative towards you, you do consider them that's being a decent human being. But that does not imply that you have to trust them and allow them to have access to you again unless they've repented and complied with justice. We should be merciful. We shouldn't be out there to gag people and to punish people and to hit people and to unload on people. Absolutely not. We should not be vengeful, rabid creeps that seek to punish people just to get relief. Absolutely not. At the other hand, we must enforce repercussions to preserve safety and sanity in the community. So if, for example, there's a guy, he does not want to contribute to the community whatsoever, he only wants to drain people, he never wants to work, he never wants to even contribute anything positively, he just complains and takes, you're not going to throw him on the streets directly. As a community, you make sure that there are provisions for such people where they can have a roof over their head as homeless folks that harms the communities, but you will not invite them to birthday parties, you will not remain in contact with them, you will not enable them in that defective way of thinking. That's stupid. But looking after them on a basic level, because they're human beings just like you, made in the image of God, that's mercy. We should be merciful, not stupid. So mercy, not stupidity. Too often, believers get involved in stupidity, especially when it comes to forgive and forget. Forgive and forget is not biblical. We need to forgive and process. And the other parties, the enablers and perpetrators, need to repent. Only when there is safety can there be peace. Do not be stupid, believers. We should be merciful and we should consider all people on a basic human level. We should never get on a high horse in which we feel far better than other people because we're not in the bad situation they're in. No matter how many bad and dumb choices someone has made, that does not give you the right to look down on them and to feel superior. God does not approve of that filthy behavior, especially not from believers. The Most High will chastise you if you go that way, for your own benefit. So we should be merciful. We should be hospitable. We should be all of that. We shouldn't hold grudges, but we shouldn't enable harm in our communities also. So when it comes to finances, we as believers ought to be economically relevant so that we can spend a lot on other people to bless them. But the moment we realize that people are exploiting our abundance, which is God-given, just to persist in the self-destruction, we shut it down. So, yes, we should be wealthy in order to be a blessing to the community. Our wealth should not be about us, it should be about doing God's will. And because it's about doing God's will and not about pleasing ourselves, we shut down any investment when we realize that investment is used against God's will. That's how we ought to be as believers. Mercy, not stupidity. Be at peace.